When I first played Apex Racer, I thought it was going to be one of two things. Either the greatest drag racer I've ever played, or the most dog water car game to ever be put on the Play Store. But I couldn't help but be left with mixed feelings. It has things that I really like, and things that I really don't understand. And a lot of you guys really wanted me to try Apex Racer, so let's talk about it. Created by Pixel Dev Games, Apex Racer released on April 5th, 2023. You start off meeting a man named Joe, who looks like a Starbucks barista from Dream Daddy. He wants to see how we move and temporarily lends us an S-tier 350Z to show you how the game works. After crossing the finish line, you find out the car you use belongs to a girl named Riley who seems to hang with Joe. Salty that I beat her track record with her own car, she challenged me to a race using Uncle Joe's car.
This nigga is trash!
Yeah, go ahead and give me the pink slip. You're certified garbage. After elegantly running our pockets, we get to choose our first car out of 3 options. A 350Z, an E36 M3, and a Mustang GT. After choosing your first car, Riley shows you the parts store and the workshop while calling you a rookie. Even though my name is not Rookie, it's Incredible. You're then sent to the garage where you can take a good look at the art style. They did really well with this, having details on both the cars and the environments. First up is the dealership, and I gotta tell you, this game has wheels. There's a vast amount of cars of different types and generations, like that one car from Kangaroo Land, and the Takeover Queen, and hey, there's even a Prius. The Mazda RX-8 is also here. The devs went out of their way to show what country each car is from, as well as the engine type and displacement. Only 7 cars can be shown at the garage, but you can buy as many as you want. I wonder which game is missing that feature. There's also a crate section where by using gold you can obtain unique cars of different rarities. Each star gauges how exclusive an item is. Gold is the most common, diamond is uncommon but not impossible, and contraband is the rarest. It's nice that there's exclusive cars that aren't just hypers or prototypes, since some people just want to collect certain cars. Before we move on though, let's all give a moment of silence to the absence of the Cadillac CTS-V Coupe. May your rating ascend from under one day. You can even create or join a crew if you want. Next up is the shop where you can buy both performance and cosmetic customizations, but before I go over that, let me get sauced up. What's really cool about this game is its variety of modifications in both aspects. In the performance section, you can do things like swap your engine, upgrade your headers, and even change the drivetrain. Yo, you'd be an absolute freak to convert a Camaro to front wheel drive. You can give your car suspension, but only 3 of them are adjustable. You could give an M2 a gangsta lean if you want. You can add or upgrade turbos and superchargers, brake discs, tires, tire compounds, the clutch, and the chassis as well, but it's not done there. You can add a DVD player for your ECU, add nitrous for the weirdos who say it that way, and change the exhaust style and system. There's even blow-off valves which preview the noise it makes when you click on it. Did Gordon Ramsay help make this game? You can even add a flame kit with different colors, so those who wanted the Joker mobile with fart flames can finally fulfill their dreams. All of this ties into the tuning section, which I'll get into in a bit. In terms of cosmetics, there's a whole bunch of mods to add. You can choose from a lot of cool paint options with even a few chameleon colors. There's a variety of wraps and window tints if you're a rapper or window tinter. The wheels are split into 7 categories: OEM, drag, muscle, tuner, off-road, luxury, and hyper, with some coming from the cars in the game. You can add front and rear accessories such as parachutes, coolers, seats, steering wheels, and spoilers. There's even a bit you can do with the lights, like brighten them up or clear them out. The tuning section has a lot you can mess around with. Usually games will let you fine-tune the gears and the nitrous output, but this one lets you adjust your ride height, stiffness, and downforce. The workshop is where you can unlock a bunch of unique cars such as the first gen Mini Cooper, New Edge SVT Mustang, and the McLaren P1 through earning parts from workshop races. The game has quite a few modes. Casual race is the main way to earn money, with each difficulty having faster cars and better rewards. Free mode is an endless highway with 3 times a day where you and a bunch of computer players can cruise along, or you can outrun the cops in a high-speed chase that can get pretty intense if you're not fast enough. One thing I would like to see is different weather conditions. I think it would make things more interesting. Things like rain, dust storms, or heck, even a volcanic eruption if you want to get crazy would be so cool. Daily race is a mode where you race for a bigger prize and cash your gold every day, although it's available every 3 hours. Parts is a mode where you race to get parts from Uncle Joe. The tournament has 3 different leagues with higher entry fees, car requirements, and rewards. With all of the things this game has, it seems to be awesome. You could argue it's the best drag racing game currently out there. As much as I want to give it that title, there's just some things with this game that bother me. Let's start with the good stuff. First, I like that the game isn't handing everything to me. Having to earn every part to every single car I own makes everything I have feel genuinely earned. I really appreciate that the devs not only went as far as to give each car their real life engine stats, but the sounds are also accurate. So many drag racing games will just straight up neglect this part when it's so integral to the cars. I also like that there's a lot of cars here that I don't see in other games. It shows that the devs know that not everybody wants a classic JDM or an insanely fast hypercar. This game also looks really good. The pixel art style is detailed and everything is smooth from the gameplay to the modifications. It doesn't seem like they cheaped out in areas other games would have. Now let's get into my issues with the game. There's some things in this game that I straight up don't understand, with either said thing not making sense or the game not telling me. First off, the game is a grind. I know I just said I like being challenged, but with the prices of everything, it can be pretty time consuming to get a simple upgrade. Skill points can help with this, but since they're in the profile setting, I doubt new players would know it exists. If you're a dedicated player, you might not see this as an issue, but for the casual type, it's something to consider. Secondly, the cars in the dealership are weirdly organized. Some cars that would probably be in higher classes are in lower ones, such as the Escalade V and the W205 C63. I'm not really sure why it's done like this, especially when the price matches the car rather than the tier it's in. Another issue I have with this game is that so many things are locked and you're just straight up not told why. For example, you can paint your wheels with colors that aren't being used, but when you buy paint from the shop, it automatically applies it to your car, so when you go to the wheel paint section, you're just confused. On the map, there's a bunch of locked things and it won't tell you what it is or why it's not available. The car meet fortunately does, but you have to go pro, which is a microtransaction, which I understand mobile game companies do have to make money, but it'd be nice to at least be able to buy your way to this mode using the same amount of in-game currency going pro would give you. I don't need a game to hold my hand, but I would like to know how everything works. There's also a loading screen for everything. This isn't that big of an issue, but it is kind of annoying, especially when other games have ways to avoid this, wink wink. Also, the bots in free mode have no sense of awareness. If you're idle in a lane and they're behind you, they'll just straight up ram you. There's also no way to save the game, even though there's apparently a cloud save option, which also doesn't make sense since you need a Google Play account in order to do so. And yeah, there are bugs, but the game is still relatively new. I'm sure a lot of people will just sum these up to nothing burgers, but I thought they were important to talk about. Individually, they're not that much of a problem, but altogether, it kind of sours the experience. None of this means I hate the game. In fact, it's quite the opposite. This game is very sex, but I do think the issues hold this game down quite a bit. Regardless of all of this, it's still a great game, and a lot of these issues can be fixed with updates. It still has a long way to go before it's considered the best drag racing game, but it's definitely on track to get there. Honestly, if all of the issues get fixed, I don't see a reason to play another drag racing game. It has a ton of potential, and I'm genuinely excited to see where this game goes.